You think buying a Formula One team means you show up, wave a flag, and watch your car win races? Wrong. The moment you write that check, you've just signed up for the most expensive sport on the planet, where even finishing last costs you $150 million a year, and winning costs you twice that. So why are billionaires, tech moguls, and Hollywood celebrities lining up to get in? Because Formula One is not just a sport anymore. It's a money machine disguised as a race. What does it actually cost to buy in? Let's start at the beginning, the entry price. If you want to buy an existing Formula One team today, you're not walking in for cheap. When Dorilton Capital acquired Williams Racing in 2020, they paid approximately $152 million. That seemed like a bargain at the time. Fast forward to 2023, and General Motors, through their Cadillac partnership, fought tooth and nail just to get approval to enter F1 as a new team. The FIA approved them. Formula One itself initially resisted. Why? Because the existing teams didn't want to split the prize money pot with an 11th competitor. That tells you everything about how financially protective this world is. And the Cadillac entry fee? Estimated at around $200 million just to join, before spending a single dollar on building a car. But here's where it gets truly mind-bending. Aston Martin's valuation has climbed toward $1 billion. McLaren's F1 operation alone is valued in a similar range. And if you wanted to buy Mercedes-AMG Petronas, the team that dominated an entire era of the sport, analysts suggest you'd need to put several $billion on the table. Formula One teams are no longer just racing outfits. They are global sports franchises, and the market is finally pricing them that way. The annual burn rate, where the money actually goes. Here's what keeps team owners up at night. Even after buying in, the spending never stops. Formula One introduced a cost cap in 2021, which was set at $145 million per year for top teams, with adjustments made annually since. By 2024, that cap sat at approximately $135 million, reduced to level the playing field. But, and this is critical, the cost cap doesn't cover everything. Marketing expenses, driver salaries, the top 3 executive salaries, and certain operational costs are all excluded from the cap. So when you hear that Red Bull Racing spent $145 million under the cap in their dominant 2023 season, the real total expenditure was considerably higher. Max Verstappen alone reportedly earns somewhere in the range of $55 million per year. Lewis Hamilton signed a landmark deal with Ferrari, widely reported to be worth around $50 million annually. Neither of those enormous figures counts toward the cost cap. Then you have the engineering army. A top-tier F1 team employs between 800 and 1,500 people. Not mechanics, not just engineers. Aerodynamicists, data scientists, software developers, composite material specialists, logistics coordinators, and a global traveling circus of over 100 personnel who attend every single race weekend across the calendar. The cars themselves? A single Formula One car cost approximately $12 to $15 million to build. Teams bring multiple chassis per season. A front wing alone, one of the most aerodynamically complex pieces on the car, costs around $100,000. Teams regularly destroy several per season. And the engines? If you're a customer team, meaning you buy your power unit from Mercedes, Ferrari, Honda, or Renault, you paying roughly $15 to $20 million per season for that privilege. And this is only the beginning of the money behind Formula One. If these numbers are surprising you, hit subscribe right now. Because what comes next gets even crazier. The revenue side. How teams actually make money. Now here's where it gets interesting. The entire economic model of Formula One changed when Liberty Media acquired the sport in 2017 for approximately $4.4 billion. What followed was one of the most remarkable sporting commercial transformations in history. Liberty understood something the previous owners didn't fully capitalize on. Formula One is entertainment, not just sport. They leaned into Drive to Survive on Netflix, pushed digital content aggressively, and unlocked audiences in the United States that had previously ignored the sport entirely. The result? The U.S. Grand Prix in Austin, Texas, now regularly sells out. generating enormous local economic impact. Miami got a Grand Prix in 2022. Las Vegas got one in 2023. Each of these new races commands a hosting fee in the range of $50 to $65 million, paid by city promoters to have Formula One. That money flows through the sport and back to the teams in the form of prize money distribution, formerly known as the Concord Agreement payments. In total, Formula One distributes several $100 million to teams each year based on championship positions and historical performance columns. A team finishing consistently at the front of the grid can expect to receive somewhere between $80 million and $120 million in annual prize distributions. Teams at the back of the grid may receive as little as $40 to $50 million. $50 million, enough to cover some costs, but nowhere near enough to turn a profit without other revenue streams. So, where does the real money come from? Sponsorship. Ferrari carries somewhere in the region of $250 to $300 million in annual sponsorship revenue. HP's title sponsorship deal with Mercedes, announced in 2024, was reported to be worth around $100 million per year. Red Bull's various commercial partnerships, combined with the value of the Red Bull brand itself using F1 as a global marketing vehicle, make the team one of the most commercially powerful in sport. For smaller teams, sponsorship is existential. Haas F1 operated for years in financial survival mode before landing a title partnership with MoneyGram. Alpine continuously searches for anchor sponsors to stabilize their budget. Without a major title sponsor, several teams on the grid would simply not survive. The break-even myth. Here's the number that should stop you cold. Most Formula One teams do not make a profit. This is the dirty secret of the paddock that the glamour of Monaco tends to obscure. For the majority of the grid, Formula One is a loss-making enterprise, offset by the brand value, marketing exposure, and technological prestige it generates for parent companies. Mercedes uses F1 as a global engineering showcase. Ferrari's identity is so intertwined with racing that separating the two is impossible. The racing division actively supports the road car brand's astronomical valuations. Red Bull pours money into the team because every race win is worth millions in brand advertising that would otherwise cost them far more to buy conventionally. The teams that consistently profit on a pure P&L basis are extremely rare. McLaren's recent financial disclosures showed losses even during competitive seasons. Aston Martin invested heavily in a new factory and facilities, taking on significant debt in the process. So why do billionaires keep buying in? The hidden returns nobody talks about. This is the part they don't advertise. Lawrence Stroll bought a struggling Force India, rebranded to Racing Point, then Aston Martin, for roughly $90 million in 2018. The Aston Martin F1 team is now valued at close to $1 billion. That's asset appreciation of over 1,000% in under a decade. John Malone's Liberty Media purchased Formula One itself for $4.4 billion in 2017. By 2024, the enterprise value of Formula One had grown to approximately $20 billion. The sport didn't just grow, it transformed into one of the most valuable media and entertainment properties on Earth. Beyond asset appreciation, there's the network effect. Owning an F1 team grants access to a global elite network of sponsors, governments, royalty, and corporate leaders that money alone cannot buy. Race weekends are business development operations dressed in racing suits. And for technology companies, the engineering pipeline is invaluable. The innovations developed in pursuit of lap time, advanced materials, software simulation, thermal management, hybrid energy systems, transfer directly into commercial and defense industries worth far more than any race trophy. The Cadillac factor. The new era begins. The arrival of General Motors through the Andretti Cadillac project tells you exactly where Formula One is headed, despite facing significant political resistance from existing teams, who openly lobbied against sharing prize money with a new entrant. The FIA and eventually Formula One management approved the entry for 2026, the year of the next major regulation change. GM isn't coming to Formula One to win trophies in the short term. They're coming because Formula One will be broadcasting to an estimated 1.5 billion people globally by the end of the decade. And that audience is the American consumer market they desperately need to reach. Formula One is now an American sport, not officially, but commercially. The U.S. has 3 races on the 2024 calendar. American drivers are being developed and fast-tracked. The Americanization of Formula One is the single biggest commercial event in the sport's history, and it's happening right now. The bottom line, owning a Formula One team is not about racing. It's about buying a seat at the most exclusive table in global business. It's about brand power, engineering prestige, geopolitical relationships, and asset appreciation that defies conventional investment logic. You will likely lose money on paper for years. You will spend more than you ever imagined. You will fight with regulators, rival teams, and your own engineers about why the car is 0.3 of a second slower than the car ahead. But somewhere between the roar of the engines in Monza and the skyline of Singapore, you'll realize that what you actually bought was a passport to a world that simply doesn't exist anywhere else. And the ultra-wealthy keep writing those checks, because in Formula One, even losing is winning. So tell us, if you had unlimited capital, which Formula One team would you buy? And what would your first move be? Drop it in the comments below. And if this broke down something you always wondered about, subscribe for more economic deep dives on industries, technologies, and global trends. New videos are coming soon, so stay tuned here.